Summoner's Rift.
Now I see everything. Being noble takes all the fun out of fighting.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Glory to the first star! Whatever that means. I've got your starlight right here.
Minions have spawned. First blood.
Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. Yeah, I got this Star Guardian thing down. I almost feel guilty about this. Say hello to my little friends. This is not my idea of magical.
Ally has been slain.
Can you believe I was chosen for this? I'll try to make this painless. Honest. I've got your starlight right here. I'll try to make this painless. Honest. Don't let the sparkles fool ya.
I dig seeing stuff.
I almost feel guilty about this. Peace and justice and... whatever. Starlight right here. This is the best part of being a Star Guardian. Star Guardians, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. Sorry, it's my duty to destroy you. Shopping spree.
An enemy has been slain.
Warning! My guns are getting restless. Don't let the sparkles fool ya. Nothing personal. I'm obligated to track. Oh no! Don't make me break the Guardian Code. Look for a round of hide and go shoot. Sorry, it's my duty to destroy you. What, ear guns don't talk to you? The best part of being a Star Guardian. Not so good. Don't let the sparkles fool ya. I got your starlight. Bam! It's lights out for you. Resources and nutrition. This is the best part of being a star. Pandemonium. Just getting warmed up. No limit on my first star card. Hate to be ruthless, but oh wait, no I don't.
An
Sometimes
ally
you have
has
to
been
be cruel
slain.
to be kind. I'm a shooting star. What, ear guns don't talk to you?
An ally has been slain.
It wasn't me. My guns have minds of their own. What do you think? Mercy or mayhem?
An ally has been slain.
Shiro and Kuro are ready for action. Sorry, it's my duty to destroy. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'll do it
Ally
for
has
you.
been slain. Disconnected.
Being noble takes all the fun out of fighting. Shed some light on things. I'm fighting for peace and
An
justice
enemy
and
has been slain.
whatever.
Killing spree.
I got your starlight right here. Sorry. Look at me. Pandemonium with a purpose. You can't hide from starlight. I got your starlight right here. What do you think? Mercy or mayhem? We're on a mission. Don't remember what.
Ally has been slain.
Beast, girl. Can you Jury's still out on this whole Star Guardian thing. Who's feeling ferocious? I'm taking my gun
An
and going
enemy has been slain.
I'm kind of a high roller. We're
Slain.
don't remember what.
An enemy has been slain.
Don't let the sparkles fool ya. light on things. Alright, who's feeling ferocious?
An enemy has been slain.
Glitter and gems. Now that's perennial. Jury's still out on this whole Star Guardian thing. Star Guardian thing down. Have to play
Shut
nice.
down.
Stellar. Get it? Look at me. Pandemonium with a purpose. Good as it
Traveling to Route 66. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption. I grow tired of waiting.
No, I do not want a banana.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
For a man of your years, you're looking pretty good,
Let's try
Jack.
that again.
Well, all that stuff they pumped into me has to be good for something.
Hello.
I'm looking forward.
Hello. Greetings.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attack commencing.
The wolf marks his
Escort
prey.
the payload.
Who do they say? A payload in motion stays in motion. Turret. Ah!
You're not going anywhere.
Enemy turret down.
Locked. Better.
Enemies coming right for us.
Start over at the beginning.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
See through the wolf's eyes.
Enemy turret.
On the payload.
Enemy turrets destroyed. Damn.
We all
See that which is
Escorting the
unseen.
payload.
Anyone need some healing?
This will protect us.
Now, hold on.
Eva online.
Double kill. Triple kill.
An inspired performance.
Where was
I'll take more of that.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
detected?
Let's keep the payload moving. Get here.
Resistance neutralized.
Understood. Be right back.
Start over at the beginning. The wolf marks his prey.
The payload is approaching its destination. Victory! Play of the game.
to Summoner's Rift.
Feeling lucky?
Thirty seconds until minions spawn.
Ideas? I got no time for games.
Minions have spawned.
Easy, partner. Go ahead. Start. What are you playing at? Easy, partner. Let's settle the score. I ain't got time to... Try me. End of the line.
First blood. An ally has been slain.
Always trouble. Easy, partner. Easy, partner. What are you playing at?
An enemy has been slain.
Feeling lucky?
An ally has been slain.
I ain't got time. Easy, partner. Bright ideas. Like a fish in a barrel. I got no time for games. Let's settle the score. Easy, partner. They did it wrong.
An ally has been slain.
What are you playing at? I ain't got time to bleed.
Killing spree.
I got no time for games.
An ally has been slain.
Feeling lucky? Easy,
An
partner.
enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Easy, partner. Let's settle the score. Bright ideas.
been slain. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. A summoner has disconnected.
Try me. Always trouble.
Killing spree.
Easy, partner. Easy, partner. Got any bright ideas? Feeling lucky.
Slain an enemy. Your turret has been destroyed.
I ain't got time to bleed. What are you playing? Got any bright ideas? Try me. Feeling lucky. Let's settle score.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I got no time for games.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
This is my tickle. Got any bright ideas? I ain't got time. Always trouble.
An ally has been slain.
What do you play? I got no time.
Double kill. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Team has destroyed a turret.
Always trouble. Easy, partner. What are you playing at? the score.
An enemy has been slain. Legendary.
Always.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
What are you playing at?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Got any bright ideas?
Has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Let's settle the score.
Has been slain.
Try me.
Killing. Double kill. Ace. Your team has destroyed a turret. Has destroyed
Hooney's level 11, very powerful Shen Shield. The amount of anti-burst that SKT has is absolutely immense, so it requires Flash Wolves to actually get off really good initiations. Karsa needs to AoE and threaten multiple people at once, otherwise SKT can even turn it around at this point. Absolutely expecting a big fight around Infernal Drake.
Has to be pretty insane burst because Redemption is there, shielding is there, so the item timings are already being hit by SKT, so whatever it is from Flash Wolves needs to be decisive because the re-engage after a Redemption is a big possibility for SKT.
Love the early aiders from Peanut as well as Flash Wolves moving to the area. SKT were first though, so they're able to clear out left side of River Vision. Here is Bang gonna get aggressive with Lulu behind him. Betty gets some shots back in, but that Infinity Edge gonna do overtime work here for Bang. SKT again, like they've always done, just moving perfectly throughout the objective, getting the vision down and kind of seeing what Flash Wolves want to do about it.
Yeah, and pay attention to Hooney as well. He is Titanic Hydra shoving in MMD a lot, and he actually wants to stay kind of far away from him so that his ult and teleport don't get disrupted by the Nautilus. Any poke someone gets before the fight is also incredibly crucial, as this is a very close point in the game.
Maple looking for a pick, tries to find Peanut, does get some damage down, but use his ultimate. It's on a short cooldown, but Peanut is kind of low. Flash Wolves might have enough to move onto the Drake aggressively.
They certainly won't see a recall from Peanut here, won't use the Redemption either, so just has to kind of lick his wounds at 50% HP. We've already seen Shen start to move away. He now returns top lane.
Flash Wolves didn't see it, but Peanut just used his last charge of Smite. So if Flash Wolves do go into a Smite fight, they have a massive advantage.
Gonna be a while there for Peanut. About 60 seconds or so as Bang having to clear these waves back and forth. Flash Wolves again are trying to do everything correctly. Maple bottom lane getting mid priority, and Karsa one hit onto the Drake. They are going to start it.
Have positioning on it. We'll see if there's any reaction from SKT. Faker's far away, so for now it looks like they might seed it, but SKT are moving up as 3.
He did it again. No, it's Michael. Has to be a fight. Bang, Aaron again. There's the Drake over to Flash Wolves. Bang, though. He's going to get out of Sword Art. Tries to root Peanut. Maple round to the side looking for a monster flank, but Oriana's right behind him. Carson and Betty still getting chased. Faker is going to get Sand United on, but Maple trying to get the damage down as Bang. Ace in the hole all the way over. Flash Wolves disengaged, but Maple is in uncharted territory.
Ace in the hole on the wrong target. That was the clone, actually, that was altered, so no reward there whatsoever. Maple will go on the grand chase and get away.
That was so well done by the Flash Wolves. The way they didn't over-engage as the Redemption comes out, the way that Maple stuck in the backside and actually caught Faker running over, never actually having to engage to get turned around by the Shen ult. They get the Drake as well as a pushing top lane as MMD catches up to Hooney and CS.
Might even steal the blue buff, but Maple going to have to get out of that one. Root Caller will not latch through for Peanut. Instead, he'll take the blue away. Faker will get the piece of candy and collect the buff for himself. But this is the kind of measured play we've seen around Objective and Flash Wolves when they beat SKT.
Measured play, controlled aggression, whatever you want to call it. Flash Wolves have done it in fits and spurts, but very noticeably against SK Telecom the last time out and in this game as well. They're being respectful, but also pushing when they need to. And that's a great sign that we might actually get a competitive best of 5.
Yeah, and also with Peanut pulling out this Ivan for the second time, having one of his worst games at MSI from an experience perspective. At 15 minutes, he was ahead of his opponent every single game in experience until this one where he was down a level to Karsa.
I mean, how many times this year have we seen Peanut and Hooney at 20 minutes into the game with bagels in every slot in the scorecard? That is absurd to me.
We did know that SKT picked a very conservative team composition that doesn't necessarily force fights. So a lot of this is the game plan for SKT. They obviously wouldn't want to give away Infernal Drake, but they're not trying to take any big risks because wait until Bang has 2 full Zeal items, they set up shop in front of a turret and kind of dare Maple to try and make a play. I think that's what they're building towards, but it's actually pretty risky against a team that knows how to force objectives like Flash Wolves.
And it's just a game comp they haven't taken. Again, Peanut is the furthest away from an Ivern main I can imagine of competitive junglers, like when he was trying to walk up for a Smite steal. Of course, impossible basically on Ivern, can't get the channel off. This is just not something that he's used to, so it does feel like in some cases the execution is certainly not there, and it's surprising to see. Now, it is the first game of a best of 5, so if you're going to try something new, it's a great time. But for now, the results have been up and down.
Yeah, and they're trying the 4-1 right now. Ivern is obnoxious in the mid lane, especially with Caitlyn and all the shield that they did want to set up shop, but interestingly enough, they're not actually sticking to it. They're respecting the LeBlanc flank pretty substantially.
There's an excellent flow of pressure in this game here, although actually a gank, no, not quite onto Hooney. Flash will dip down and see what they can get done. I mean, we're really playing side lane versus mid lane right now. SKT are trying to bust down this mid turret and get the map opened up, and Flash will say, we have 2 TPs, we're just playing the side lanes and running you around.
SKT has to be respectful because they don't have vision on the blue side jungle of Flash Wolves, so they don't see members of Flash Wolves. Huni could be getting collapsed on.
Maple is around, but he does get ace in the hole by Bang, who is the biggest member of SKT right now. Turret is low, Bang shooting where he can from the Flash Rock. Flash Rock's maybe looking for something here. MMD blast cones over aggressively, trying to posture. Maple in as well. Arrow hits Bang again as Maple dash through into Flash Rock from MMD, but Faker, 3-man took him out, knock Bang gets exploded by Casa, and that's almost all the damage. Maple is going to move in now. Faker gets hooked by MMD. SKT fighting a 5v4 as best they can. Sorta takes a big chunk of damage. SKT looking to disengage.
That was a ton of damage into Bang right there. Doesn't use his shield, but that's because he thought he was going to be over shielded. The fight continues.
Huni now caught by MMD, but the Polymorph is going to keep the Nautilus away, but now Hook planted onto Huni. Benny laying arrows into the back of Shen Wolf. This doesn't have any more protection, but Ivern does as he runs back to Peanut. Flash Wolves, though, what incredible target selection to just get 1 kill.
I mean, the target was so clear, everyone understood it, but the fact they could actually kill him through Command Protect, the Ivern Shield, the Shen Stand United, and also Wolf's suite of healing and shielding lets you know just how much damage they had to dump. It will get more and more as the game goes on, but 3rd time Bang's been hit by one of these Ash arrows, and the Wombo was clear from Flash Wolves.
Yeah, they get the Graves ult to actually get the last hit. All of the shields were used on him, and he was unable to stay alive. He is getting caught out too often with that type of frontline. He cannot be hit by those Ash arrows, especially after using his E.
Maple in again. Peanut now going to be the one rooted up. Flash ball, but Maple lands another long-range chain. This goes over into the rim of Casa. Flashes instantly. The Flash Wolves out for blood. Peanut dead.
Flash Wolves' aggression is really getting them advantages. Peanut thought he was safe, but Flash Wolves slipped in, hit that 2nd chain, which was the money one, and now suddenly this game's turned on its head.
And the key to Flash Wolves when they do beat SKT is that when they get those picks, they're able to convert them into objectives. So it's very critical that they're able to get something out of this, whether it's more vision control for later play or to actually open up this mid lane, which is so hard to do against that wave clear.
Been the holy grail of the game for both these teams, it feels like, but damage, chip damage is not enough on this turret. They do get it lower, but Maple has to go back to enter the side lane. TP is down for now, and again, the push and pull starts. Betty finally misses an arrow, but the target once again was Bang.
And Bang cannot go. QSS needs to build damage. You can see a Chalice into a Mikhails will be coming through eventually, but he needs to build the damage. He doesn't have the latitude to go QSS and have more damage fall off, and thus he really needs to keep sidestepping these arrows until that Mikhails is complete.
Big long lanes to play in as well. MMD has almost got the wave down to that bottom outer turret, but Huni is there to answer. Ultimate not quite up just yet, but he will have his teleport. So again, Flash Wolves need to respect all the globals on the map as it watches again. Maple, such great flanks already this game.
He wasn't spotted and got the 1st chain. The 2nd chain, though, was the one that really separated Maple from a lot of players. And Carson and Maple, they are the duo, and they were single-minded, and they picked up the kill on Peanut.
Yeah, gaining a lot of control in that side of the jungle. Ocean Drake will be up as of now, actually, and they're still setting up the split push because they can threaten both Baron and Drake theoretically at the same time. It's all about their level of deep vision and how much they can penetrate the jungle with Maple and Betty's vision.
And the overall tension in this game is just insanely high. I mean, the reason that Flash Wolves can't get much more of a lead than the 2,000 gold they've now got is because the map is still so closed in the center. These mid-outer turrets are so low, and as soon as one breaks open, I think both teams can leap into action. And SKT, yes, they're behind, but you cannot fault this team at almost any stage of the game. And with this kind of comp, you can just see Bang, almost 2 items. Faker, now with 2 items. This is just getting scarier and scarier, and Flash Wolves, they're playing proactively, but that needs to keep happening.
Yeah, and Bang will have to play better as this late game progresses. If they're going to have her protect the Caitlyn, he has to be in positions where they're able to protect him. It's going to be tricky right now because SKT definitely doesn't look to be firing on all cylinders or being that crazy, angry SKT we may have expected from game 1.
I want to draw your attention to the fact that right now Peanut is 1,700 gold down on Ivern. Certainly a thing that can happen, but what the reality is, and one of the reasons why we only saw a single Ivern pick in Korea during the whole course of the LCK, there were a couple of bans, but only a single pick, is the big problem is when you fall behind, especially to a 1-3-1 comp, you don't get access to many jungle camps, which in a normal game are going to be shared between the jungler and the rest of the team anyway. And you can just fall further and further behind and not really be able to actually offer up much of a contest if you're Ivern.
Yeah, I feel like Peanut also just not comfortable on this pick. I think Ivern has proven to be a first pickable jungler and something that can work in almost every situation at this tournament, but not when you are channeling the wrong camps at the start of the game and not getting that early advantage where Ivern generally thrives. That's the second game in a row where Peanut did not have a good early jungle path.
And I think for once, SKT's incredibly high Drake priority might have actually cost them something they didn't want to give up. Flash Wolves, they trade the Ocean Drake for that mid-outer turret, and yes, their mid-outer is also very low, but I was talking about the map being opened up, MMD getting pressure down, the TPs are starting to come back up. Flash Wolves, they have a few moments in these next minutes to really bust the game wide open.
The issue with SKT is they can't really force much. They don't have a comp that can force, so even if they're trading down in terms of effectiveness, as we see them actually taken out of mid lane.
Bang again gets stunned up, but arrows are there. Flash Wolves fighting 2v3, 2v4 with Daisy in the mix as well. Flash Wolves disengage it. Oh, could turn it back around. Faker does get the shockwave on the caster, but that's a cooldown burn as Flash Wolves are collapsing. MMD coming in for the right-hand side. Maple looking for the flame join. He's going to flash it out. Maple getting in there, but there's the depth touch on. Bang does take out Sword Art. SKT may have just defended Maple. Getting a quad, he's forced to flash the Sword away, but Faker chasing in. Needs one more order. Gets it now. MMD back with the blast code into SKT. Going to flash out of the way, but Faker going to keep chasing. Root Call Lance from Peanut. MMD, he's tanky, but it's not enough. There's SKT with the team fight.
And listen, that's their way of forcing it. Throw down Daisy in the mid lane, and you force the other team to come to you.
Shut down from Bang.
This fight was so much better from Bang. Had to flash defensively, straight into basically melee range of Akama, took her out, and then the target selection there, much cleaner. And you make that play at 27 minutes, and suddenly, Baron is a real objective.
Yeah, this is what we saw from the SKT draft. They needed to be able to withstand and not get starved out in vision by the Flash Wolves. Flash Wolves were hesitating for a second in the way they collapsed. They stick around a little bit too long in the mid lane and allow Bang to get out a lot of poke so that they can't all focus Bang at the same time. And now SKT in total control.
We get to catch this replay. So Bang is caught in the front line, but this time the shielding is early and is effective. They get Bang up to basically full health with the redemption. You can see Nautilus is coming up. LeBlanc is coming from behind, but the formation from SKT is strong. They finally get the slip onto Bang, but wait for the flash.
Yeah, Betty and Sword Art are actually out of this fight early, so Bang actually just flashes straight to killing Sword Art. There's no damage back up there, and Maple isn't actually going to burst someone through all those shields in a 5v2 team fight.
If Graves was grouped with Karma, maybe that's not a safe flash direction. Maybe he's taken out in the backline, but the fact that he could regroup with his frontline, with his shields, meant that it was just closest target, front to back action from SKT.
And now, the impossibility of playing SKT is kind of here once again. It just doesn't really matter how far ahead you feel sometimes, because when this team starts winning, they just take everything off the map. And that damage tells a lot.
Yeah, when Caitlyn's the biggest number, you know that SKT almost certainly won a fight. So finally Bang got through the early hiccups. It's early here, it's 3 p.m. for gamers, that can be the morning. So he's getting through some of those jitters. It's back to the Bang we thought we would see, but certainly didn't hit the rift for the first 20.
Yeah, and he also goes QSS on top of having a McHale's from Wolf, so they can cleanse multiple CCs, assuming they don't overlap. Flash Wolves doesn't want to let them set up. They're teleporting in with the Blanc, trying to get that initiation this time.
Bang ulted up again, but the shield should be able to keep him alive. He's got no other stuns, but Maple trying to do damage on the other side. Wildbird burnt on Warp, but SKT just has too much strength here. MMD fighting in the middle, but Daisy's going to knock him up. There's too much here. Redemption's going to heal him for a little while longer. Shield isn't enough to keep him alive. Peanut actually gets last hit credit, and now Bang just straightforward with the Lulu playing up.
And unless Flash Wolves is splitting SKT up, this 5-man team composition is immensely effective. You can see even with some of the catches and making Wolf ult himself on Lulu, Bang's still full health and pushing forward.
It's also very optimistic to actually choose the time to engage, which, as you say, is not necessarily the best route to play when the Baron buff is being written by SKT. They already have it, they're already putting it to good use. That's the base broken. And SKT, after so many sidesteps, so much great play from the Flash Wolves, the result looks like it'll still say SKT 1-0.
They're not done, and Maple doesn't have his TP, so SKT are actually going to go for the Nexus turret here. Carter gets caught out. That's a kill again for Bang. Huni loops forward, tries to find Betty, but Betty's going to kite back. Stands United, though, going to keep Bang himself alive, and he's just laying shots into the back. Ace in the whole block by Sword Art. Faker forces the flash with a shockwave. Nexus turret number 2 down as now the Nexus is exposed, and SKT in one fell swoop may well end this game. Maple polymorphed up, dead to Huni, as Huni now get Wildbird up so they can finish the rest of the fight. why Betty is tickling the tanks in the front line. And SKT just will not be stopped. Sorta trucked out into oblivion, and that's going to be game one, SK Telecom.
It was over right when it started for SKT. As soon as they started pushing that mid lane down and committing to it with about 2.5 items onto Caitlyn, Flash Wolves was unable to mount the right answer. They seemed like they were in it because they were playing the side lanes and able to get a few kills on SKT, but that's the patience of SKT, knowing exactly when to pass.
And the history books will remember that SK Telecom won the first game, but certainly were behind for the majority of the minutes this game was played. And you wonder how this will sit with Flash Wolves, because on the one hand, you could take away and be like, all right, our early plan worked, we did some great things, you know, we were winning until we lost, basically. Or you could actually have felt up, you could have felt confident, and then had it ripped away from you so quickly. So how they play the next 15 minutes of game 2 is going to be really interesting, I think, but the context of this series for the Flash Wolves.
Right, because you could see a little bit of panic very early on from Flash Wolves in the bottom lane where they were flashing forward and end up giving a kill over to Bang. But I do think there are promising things to build on from Flash Wolves and the fact that they could make some of those turns. But just compositionally, SKT had such a cohesive 5-man unit. Even though that's not necessarily how they'd been playing a lot of this tournament, when they did group up, they showed that they absolutely can play that style. And Bang showed his chops after getting picked off a little bit.
Amusing how the scouting report was kind of thrown out. They went for a comp that very much was about kill participation. Everyone's putting shields. Very much is going to be high assists on every number. When you're SKT, when you can play flexible, we've seen Protect the Comp, we've seen 4-1 Split Push. We knew they could come back to this strategy, but it's actually been very slow going for them in this game compared to their style and others.
I mean, the thing for me is, yes, the comp was very good and had a lot of insurance built in, but that felt like one major mistake, and that was all over. But to give us their take on that SKT win, let's send it over to Dash and the analysts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. SKT grabbed the first win of the series, and in decisive fashion there at the end, right? It kind of Baron comes through, and then they close it out cleanly. But up until that point, many openings for Flash Wolves, at least with the early kills going over. Before we get to the gameplay, though, I want to talk about Champion Select, because, Martin, you were talking about how, hey, showing our hand, that group stage gives SKT that full week of prep to really know how they want to attack Champion Select and set themselves up for this game. This time around, immediate ban on the Syndra, immediate ban on the Lee Sin. Let's get those early playmakers off the table, and then they draft full late game.
Exactly, like the two picks that were used to really beat, you know, Faker and Peanut around the mid lane when we saw Flash Wolves take down SKT were exactly Syndra and Lee Sin. And you don't need to trade them for anything. Like, your blue side in this first game, that's why they picked blue side. Ban them, get rid of them, and now already you kind of know, okay, the snowball from Flash Wolves will not be as effective as we saw last time, and it hurts Flash Wolves a lot.
Yeah, but it's also a composition that goes very much so into the late game. Azale, we were talking about backstage, you know, is a catch-22. SKT now gets stronger in the late game, so you can technically beat them early, but if you make one mistake, and that's what we saw, I feel in the mid game, the problem with this comp for Flash Wolves is that they didn't have any dominance on the side lane. So LeBlanc wasn't putting enough pressure. Nautilus got pushed in by the Shen. Technically, LeBlanc could get that, but maybe she just rush pure AP and skip the Negatron cloak to maybe get that silent pressure. It's really hard to evaluate that.
Yeah, it is, and it's always one of the things that has been the biggest strengths of SKT. We talk about why they're so good in the mid game, why their objective control is so good. It's because they always dominate side lane control.